starving. The problem is, when we were shooting Maria at the compound center, the Jones Act, where it costs $5 for an avocado, it has to be shipped into Dominican Republic.
That's your real problem.
Yeah. So no. Yeah. But so therefore, but you're saying, but listen, Peter, you're saying that they'll have food. Peter, what? They're going to go out and go fishing in a boat to get some food for 3 million people?
No. That's not what I mean. No.
The farming has been destroyed. The commercialism, the hotel industry, the tourist industry has destroyed the island basically because.
Well, I think that case can be made, but the case can also be made, and don't forget this, David. I'm not carping on it for that just out of whatever. There still is land, there is water, and they're robust people, and those people are going to get it together to do some of the stuff they have to do.
I agree. It's going to take. I'm just saying it's going to take 20 years. You asked me, I'll answer. They have to go either become a state, an official state of the United States, which they'll probably do now. They always lose by like 1%.
Well, that'd be a good idea.
And then the second, or they don't want to remain a Commonwealth state because they disenfranchise people by not being able to vote. So there's a dualistic problem to have independence, no money. The island's been raped economically. It's been and environmentally, storm-wise, it's been destroyed. And there is hope. Of course, there's always hope, Peter. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the economic outlook is. But they have to vote. They have
badly damaged, and certain people have been hurt a lot, and other people have benefited. To keep the whole thing in a balanced perspective. That's my role as a nominally political theorist. There's stuff gained and stuff lost. The net loss has been terrible. You're right.
Oh boy, this is definitely. Oh boy, I hope this car doesn't break the little. Whoa!
Yeah. Go fast. Here you go.
8 months after Hurricane Maria, the Relief Foundation invited me to join their Puerto Rico volunteer mission to help rebuild communities.
My old valiant.
And of course, next to that,
Yeah, 3.5 million people, but how many people are working? What percentage of the economy is people have employment?
well, the part that I know that is about 43% working people.
So it's gone down since the hurricane?
Yeah.
What was it before the hurricane?
Well, always it's just like a working people, about 43,000 people. Then the other people probably they working by themselves or something like that. But the working steady with the government is about 43%.
But how many people have lost? What percentage of people are out of work because of the hurricane?
Well, right now it's the statistics almost stay the same. The only thing that a lot of people they went to the States.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How many people went to the States, do you know?
About 425,000.
425,000?
In the last couple of years.
Really? But since the hurricane, how many people have left?
Well, maybe from the hurricane, about 200,000. We have a problem right now with the school. And we have a problem and unemployment because they don't come up with a big industry to give them a job to the people. We have a tour, the tour gets stopped for a while because most of the hotel is on repair. Right now we may have a tour and a cruise ship, but not in a hotel.
Not as much as before, obviously, but it is picking up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick them up maybe by the November, December.
That's what they say, yeah. I hope. I don't know. Keep going. Hey, are you all with? Hey, how are you? Yeah. I'll hop right out. You know, they have. There are a lot of that, basically. You know, the batteries are charged. Let me just show you where they're charging.
Candies. Hi.
I'm with Nick.
Where they filmed Despacito, so La Perla was a community and it's outside the walls too. And why the British decide to enter through that place is because in Piñones was a slave area. So they thought if we entrance to the slave area, these slaves are gonna join us and we are going to fight together with the Spanish. And also the governor asked for the help of all the local peoples, including the women, and that's the role of the women. The women were crossing one side to the other side with small boats, but with lit torch, so they confused the British. So that's how, when the British came after fighting 2 weeks with the slave, they saw a huge army waiting for them and a lot of people crossing with lit torch, and that's how they decide to retire. And we considered victory not only to the Spanish, but to the people that for the first time fight for their territory. So that's the story behind. Now we can walk. Okay, so the governor, one of the ways he took money of San Juan, instead of the crown, it was by the houses, the proportion of the house they have on the street. So the smaller the house it was, the less taxes the people pay.
Su organización se llama Relief Foundation. Ellos están aquí hoy, están compartiendo con nosotros, están disfrutando de Miramar Food Truck Park, y su líder, Pedro.
How many people have been to Puerto Rico before this trip? Okay, how many people have never been to Puerto Rico? It was your first time. So you got some new people here, right? So basically, the Relief Foundation stands for relieving and embracing lives interrupted by Earth's forces relief. You've heard of flash mobs. We do flash relief. We use social media and technology, kind of organize and come together. This is, I think it's like one of our 8th or 9th trip. It started out in 2005 with Hurricane Katrina. We built an orphanage in Port-au-Prince after the earthquake there. Did some Japanese tsunami cleanup after that happened. Georgia tornado cleanup, etc., all the way through to Houston this past year. Now we're here.
The communities where we are going, there have been months without proper medical care, so we were able to put together a technical team, and we have on the ground as well as over telemedicine to deliver that care that is much needed. So I really want to thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to bring technology as well as human effort and relief to be able to help. Thank you so much.
Where are we going?
You got a bad rap in the military. Jody's a bad man.
Once I learned that, I'd meet people in the military. Hey, I'm Joe. How you doing?
Joe, you're that dude.
Hey, no,
Yo.
Up this side. Yeah. How with that?
Tick eggs.
They're ticks.
Grown eggs.
This is a new community garden, or not garden, but places where NGOs can come through and house up, or they're getting bunks ready for people.
How many people are bunking?
I'm not completely sure. This is sort of a new thing. It's not just for NGOs; it's for the elderly in the community as well, because they're kind of trapped in the surrounding areas. Their houses are in need of intense fixing up. Most of their families have gone back to the States, so they're kind of stuck here and alone, and we want to kind of create that central gathering point for them to do fun activities like joining in music, cooking, things like that, games.
That's great.
But like I said, we also try and want to make this a hub for nonprofit organizations that kind of have a self-sustainable mission about them as well.
¿Tu idea para eso? Las rocas son de aquí.
Las de Seña.
De la playa. Buenísimo. Muy bien. ¿Qué piensas de este hombre? Un oso.
Sammy.
How are you doing?
Good, I'm great. We just got so hung up in the past couple days on GPS stuff. We missed you in Ponce by a half hour.
We're glad you're here now.
Yeah, but here we are.
Here we are.
There we go.
You guys gonna get some good footage at least?
Yeah.
You don't mind? Yeah, thank you.
She's been married for 50 years.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
We were like, if we got to like 100 something like this.
I was like, is she 108? That's possible. Can I use this thing?
Yeah, I just chipped away everything up here.
So I can throw it off?
Yep.
It's gonna drain on mine.
Problema. En su casa, agua.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Very nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right, I got you a driver and I'm about to get you a translator.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
God dang it.
Sí.
It moves.
Make it move, make it happen.
The ladies had it this morning.
It's really Margaret. You want us to put that on and you just keep putting one.
Sure.
I don't need it.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I'll just keep threading that.
Ready.
That's great.
Really cool. What else is books, students' files, desks, everything just left. It's like you got 30 seconds to leave the building, we're closing it. Take only what you can carry. So it was announced a few months ago that they're going to be closing 283 of the 1,100 remaining public schools that were open in August. They were going to be closing almost 300 of them. But thankfully, somehow through the courts, that got pushed back, so it's not happening for now. We started working here when I first got here in mid-November, so it's been about 6.5 months of work here in this school so far. Yeah, the interesting part about this is like how do you build a community when the government's is completely like tied down by like an illegal $70 billion debt and like can't declare bankruptcy on this like a normal state. Like Detroit can declare bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico on the other hand cannot.
Wow.
It was just shipped as the box.
Wow. So that's the company, huh?
Yeah, it's a small company out of Northern California. The fourth one that they've ever installed. The first one in Puerto Rico.
Really? Look at that.
So you have the panels come in to in 4 quadrants. There's 4 charge controllers that control the voltage and everything, and it goes down to this bank of
24 2-volt batteries, and the batteries come up into these 3 inverters, and from the inverters out through the system and to the rest of the school.
Wow.
Then the diesel generator back here kicks on automatically if there's too much power getting drawn or if there's not enough.
Really?
The panels aren't connected. These are 2 volts.
Oh, the facility you need 2 volt?
Yeah, but they're giant. They're like way a lot. You can't pick these up. They go all the way down to the floor.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it's a low voltage, high current.
Wow. Beautiful. A work of art. Beautiful.
I think these are each like 365 watts.
Each panel is 365 watts?
345 watts. I'm sorry.
Each panel?
Yeah, each panel is 345 watts, and we have 48. Yeah, then with the panel store on top of these here, so there's still plenty of walk space to access the brain and all the parts and fuses and the generator.
Right. So you put this before we came down. You put this together.
Yeah.
Beautiful job. Unbelievable. Congratulations. There's hope.
The root cause of all this is the colonization of the island. And the United States government doesn't want Puerto Rico to be resilient. It doesn't want Puerto Rico to be able to take care of itself, because if somebody takes care of themselves, you can't occupy them. It's been a relationship of extraction since 1898. Every bit of the United States' involvement has been like, how much money can we suck out of this island? One avocado is about $5 with tax at the store, because the avocados are grown in Dominican Republic, about 100 miles from the west coast of here. But because of the Jones Act and the colonial shipping laws, those avocados have to travel on a Dominican boat to the United States, change hands in the port, and get put on an American ship, and then shipped all the way back down here.
Oh, yeah.
Like even now, the governor's trying to, even though he said right after the storm that they like anybody that tries to hide any information regarding the hurricane will have hell to pay, and that same dude is now like doing everything in his power to hide the actual death toll of the hurricane, which is about almost 5,000.
I know, it may be higher.
Oh, it's definitely higher.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, like 5,000 deaths in 9 months and 3,500 square miles. That's a lot of grief, and that's a lot of emotion to process. And like, because by the law of numbers, 5,000 people in this small of a space, that's somebody's aunt, that's somebody's grandma, that's somebody's cousin or uncle. They don't want this to be humanized. They just want to build more resorts, make more fast food jobs.
Ventilators help them breathe, and scoliosis makes it difficult to move them. Elisea and her daughters waited out Hurricane Maria here in Ponce, a city on the island's southern coast. But the chaotic aftermath put Patricia and Natalia in grave danger.
Sammy, smile. We're here live on location on top of, what's her name?
Diana.
Diana's rooftop. Come on, we're filming here. You gotta give me some, there's Jody making moves.
Jody's laying down the sealant for the roof.
Here, I'll hold it and you can do both hands.
All right, sorry.
And we'll maximize.
That spot.
Can you get a little more water?
This blackness.
Going full Shakespeare.
Oh! I got you.
I'm okay with that too. Like, I'm not upset.
I feel like it feels good?
Yeah.
You guys are riding the big van.
Baby greens right here, and we're planting 4 different types of onions to see which ones grow best.
Oh, great.
And then,
all the same kind of vegetable?
So this is like a mix of different lettuce, and then over there's 4 types of onions, and then around the corner we have a bunch of different mixed peppers that we're growing.
Great. Nothing like seeing organic soil. Just get a shot of your hands.
The idea of the garden here is to stimulate the mental health of the elderly people in this community. So I was going around when I came here, someone brought me to this community, and they took me to this old lady's house who had water dripping onto her bed every single night. They're like, how can you help there? So we went there, and she pretty much, the only contact she has with any other human is once a week when a social worker comes for 30 minutes. The rest of the week, she's without power, just living alone.
Still.
And they said they need someone to kind of help her get her life together, get it started. Still, actually, well, not anymore, because we just fixed it.
Oh.
We literally just came back from that work site. We spent all morning sealing the roof. So she's good now, no more water on her bed. for at least a few years. And so I was there and I said, if we help her, if we fix this, then what? We leave, the house just goes back to the way it was. How do we do something to make this sustainable? And so they took me all around the community. I met about 20 different just elderly people living alone without power. Same situation. Only once a week the social work students go around on Sunday and talk to them for 30 minutes. Great. So I said, what do we do? How do we fix this? So this used to be a school before a hurricane came, got destroyed. They gave the rights to the University of Puerto Rico, Humacao, and I said, can we use this as a community center for the elderly people? Set up workshops, games, there's tons of instruments in there, we're setting up a music center, and once a week, instead of them going house to house and going individually, they're gonna bring them all here at once, pull them out one at a time, but they're gonna be able to talk to each other and have a community of each, and it's just what that does for especially elderly people, their mental health, and makes it important. And I mean, garden is responsibility, you know, planting it, keeping it, tilling it, making sure what you're doing is growing. Having responsibility does so much for the mental health of people, and that's the whole idea here. We only have one day here, but how do we make it so years later this is still benefiting people? Yes. We've actually gotten a contract from the students from the University of Puerto Rico Social Work School that once a week, Sunday, part of their curriculum is they have to do this. Gather everyone, bring them here, do social services.
Is that after the hurricane that started?
No, this actually started when I came a month ago. If we do this and we come, we set it up, we need to make sure this is happening and running. They wrote me a contract, the curriculum, the students now have to do it.
You're going to get your MD soon, and that's great that medical people are here with regular volunteers. And I can't say enough about it that there are a lot of great people in the medical field who do this. And
I think the reason anyone becomes a doctor at their heart, even if they don't believe it anymore or care to admit it, is they want to do good. That's the whole reason. And I think a lot of times you forget that after the years of studying and the textbooks and the competition in this school and this residency. And I think for me, I'm really trying hard to combat that, is running these trips all the time, always refocusing, realigning. What's your purpose here? What are you here? As much good as you can with the time you have.
Yeah, I came down for 1 month. I was supposed to leave December 4th, and I was just like,
I like it here.
I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, I'm really considering just missing school Friday, and then Monday, and then Tuesday, and then just see what happens.
Learn some Spanish.
Yeah, there's a lot to do around. There's just so much need, man. It's crazy.
He was in Colorado getting insulin for the when the storm hit.
Oh,
and then he was stuck in Charlotte where I was living, and he's like, I need to bring some people down and do some stuff. And I was like,
I volunteers tribute.
Yeah, let's do it.
But you're clearly doing your part, so thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming out.
What a day. What a day we had together.
Hell yeah.
I mean, look at this. This is crazy. We're gonna have like peppers and spices and squash. It's been a crazy day, pretty productive. I worked the island the last 6 months. I've been to communities in every corner, and we saw a lot of good projects, but it was, where is the need greatest? Not just who needs help, it's where is the need greatest and how can we help the best? I went all over to Isabela, to all corners of the island, and coming here, I don't know if you know, Yokoboa is just down south from here, and that is where the hurricane actually hit. It came in from there. So this area got hit so hard. They're still without power. This long in America. As Americans been a year. We went this morning and did food distribution to families around the area. In America, that long after a hurricane that people still can't afford or have access to food. We dropped off cans of soup and things that are ready to be made, but we shouldn't have to be here. This is insane. This isn't. It hurts, but we shouldn't have to be here, but we're happy.
Is in this world.
Definitely inspires others.
What's that?
We're planting seeds here.
Literally. Yeah.
I know, I just got it. That's great.
Yesterday we always talk about making concrete change, and yesterday we literally used concrete to make this garden sustainable during the next hurricane. Got washed away during the last one. We used metal beams, made a frame, made a whole entire structure that we can board up if there's another storm, and just all these things are blowing my mind. It's beyond my wildest expectation.
Yo voy para Haití el mes que viene a trabajar.
Esta es mi información, por favor, quiero una foto cuando estás listo con este proyecto, ¿ok? High five.
Bien.
Ciao, amigo. Okay, I think we're recording here. This is going to be a one-on-one with Jody Del Giorno.
I'm Jody Del Giorno, and we're live in Puerto Rico.
Got some little air in here, Jody.
We're down here with the Relief Foundation, and it's been a great trip. We just sealed an entire roof for a lady who is in her 80s. Her entire family left, and she didn't want to leave, so they left her behind. But she had her church and her community, and it was good to see she was still happy. She's still happy in her home, even though it's been ravished, and her property has been pretty beaten up, but another good day.
It took me 5 hours and a half to get to my house from here.
How far is that?
It's only 9 minutes from here. You used to see all the trees, all the green. And when you don't see hardly nothing, everything down. The people lost their houses. My sister lost her house. My friend lost her house. Oh, it's very hard.
Poor you. I'm sorry. Sad. I shouldn't be filming, but I should. To take pictures.
That's your job, David.
To tell people. To tell.
It's your job, and it's good for people to know what we went through. And we have food here, thanks the Lord. But there were some people that didn't have no food, and they came by here to eat.
You fed them? The restaurant fed them?
My son, and there was a lot of people with no water, no food, no house, no place to sleep. Waiting for the help, and it took a long time, the help to come. It took a long time.
Do you know families that buried their family? Do you know people who did that?
You have to go there and
Did you know people?
I know by true sources that they did.
But did you know anyone who did that? But you heard friends?
Yes, but it was true.
They buried their families?
Yes, they had to. There was no way for them to get out of their house. No road. So they had to do it. There's a story of this guy, I think was in Utuado, that he buried his mother, and then he committed suicide. You will see so many people hurt, but they will talk to you with a smile. They will open their hearts to you. They will open their hearts to you. They will welcome you in their house without no roof. They will give you some coffee too, if they have some. That's what Puerto Ricans are.
And the water was polluted, wasn't it?
Everything was polluted. Everything was polluted.
They don't talk about that.
Everything was polluted.
Is it still polluted?
I think it's still, some places are.
That's the problem, Peter. The water is still polluted.
Yes, because a lot of animals die where they go through, the rivers, the lakes, where the water comes from. Lakes.
They die in the lakes.
Yeah, that's the real problem.
And then it comes to the houses. A lot of people die of
bacteria.
Bacteria. There's a lot of bacteria. Because the water wasn't good to drink. So people don't have the money to go and buy the water, because we had to stay about 2 weeks because they couldn't open the places. They couldn't open to get the water. People couldn't get to the banks to get the money out, so they had a little bit of cash. They couldn't buy stuff because they don't have the money. So some places were worse than others, but the whole island.
The whole island, electricity, water, pollution.
Everything.
Everything.
I think there's people till today, I don't know, in Hormigueros, they don't have electricity. Till today.
I know.
May, June. They don't have electricity.
No way to cook.
So my family is in the United States. I have my family over there. So they were crying there was no way for them to communicate with us. So they were going crazy.
Family, yeah.
So when we could talk, the only thing we did was cry. We said, we survived, we're alive, we're okay. But if you see your island, you cry for so long. Especially in San Juan, that hospital, they went through so much. They were operating on a doctor, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get that, but a doctor was making the surgeries with a light in their cell phone. He posted it. I don't know if he still has the job. I don't know if he still has the job. But he posted, and he says, we're operating with a light with a cell phone. People are dying. We cannot do that. Cannot operate like that.
Boy, oh boy.
Because the generators went down. They were bad. It was hard to operate for them.
We put so much faith in technology, and then when it goes, what do we do?
It goes down. Technology goes down, goes down.
Yo, you got it. That's beautiful. So tell me what you're doing.
Philly. I'm here in Puerto Rico making a documentary about el movimiento de autogestión, which doesn't actually have a great translation in English, but it's self-management movement, which is something for where communities are just figuring out other different ways to organize.
Without knowing where in the world you were going, you were sent for me. And although at first glance you were a stranger, but you kept me safe from danger. I am humbled now, safe in your arms. No harm will come to you. Remember me, you'll see we can make it through.